Morning. I can see you, Kingsley Peter. Good morning. I can see you, Kevin Okedu. Good morning. Put a one in the chat if you're hearing me. All right. Okay, I think we are good to go. So you are welcome. And like I said, my name is Charles Mahiwe. And every Tuesday by 10, we try to do this. We try to talk about things that can help our business get to the next level. And that's where we are this morning. And the issue we want to be able to explore as part of our conversation today is an issue that has to do with that came up during our conversation last week, during our discussion last week, during our meeting last week, and that was how, if you have an agreement with a bigger company, how do you ensure that they keep to their part of the agreement? If you are going into an agreement with any other business, maybe another small business, individual, how do you get them to be able to keep to their parts of the agreement? And these are the issues we want to be able to talk about today. Yeah, so I can see you, Kingsley Peters. Good, loud and clear. You are confirmed that you are hearing me. Okay, so on Zoom, I have DK Chiamaka on Zoom. Yes, I have DK Chiamaka on Zoom. I know that last week Chiamaka wanted to be able to share some of her business progress with us, but unfortunately, it didn't. We ran out of time, so to say, because we like to keep this program very straightforward, very short and simple. So, without much ado, I like to give Chiamaka the first opportunity to be able to talk with us this morning. So, DK Chiamaka is her name. You are welcome to the program, DK Chiamaka. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. So, yeah. So I like to ask you to tell us a little bit about your business and then probably share with us the progress so far in your business. So, yeah, go ahead. The ball is in your court at the moment. Go ahead. Good morning. You're welcome. Just just go ahead. We are hearing you. Go ahead. No, just go ahead. We are seeing you on Facebook, on YouTube, and we are hearing you loud and clear. Just go ahead. Yes, so um, you are at the moment in Olo, like you have said. Yeah, and oh, that's great. That's great. And you have mentioned you are having the challenge of people coming to your farm because of the issues of lockdown and yeah, so that's quite interesting. So basically the birds in your farm now are your first batch of birds, correct? Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So so now okay, so these ones you're showing us, they are the second batch. Oh, that's lovely. Then the ones that are mature that you want to sell off, is the one you're having challenges getting people to come over to your farm, right? Okay, okay. So, um, in the meantime, what are you thinking in terms of overcoming this challenge? Are you are you looking at probably waiting to see if they will come over within the week, or are you looking at getting the birds out of there, moving it to the market in the larger town? So you are in Olo in Imo State, but the customers you want to bring over, you mentioned they are in Owerri, right? Okay, just to because we are trying to see how we can also profile solutions to your business. Just to mention, if you sell in Olo, what do you think they will be offering you in terms of price? Okay, that's fine. Then for the buyers you're looking at in Owerri, i- how much would you think they will offer you? All right. So actually, why I'm asking you these questions is because we're trying to do what we're trying to explore solutions with you. And one of the things that help you to make decisions of this nature is number one, if you are able to really pinpoint how many they will buy, will they buy all? At what rate are they going to buy? If you're able to pinpoint it, like you are expecting them to pay, say 5,000 for example, if they pay 5,000, yeah, if they pay 5,000 and they are able to buy all, versus someone that pay 4,000 and probably also buy all maybe in your location. If it boils down to transporting the beds to Owerri from Olo, so now what you need to consider is what how much will it cost you to transport the beds from Owerri to Olo in Imo State, versus if someone just who is around you pay 4,000 and buy, versus compared to someone that is in a way that say, oh, I can't come but can you bring it, and you're able to move it down there and the person pay 5,000. So by the time you do your calculations, then you should be able to know what the difference is in real terms, in actual terms, what the difference will be, and in actual terms, what the margin that you are going to be making on both will be, because that is also part of your decision making process in your business. So you need to look at that. You need to be able to consider that. So, but if the person coming from Owerri is coming to your farm to buy at a higher price, then I think it's a good deal. But if the person say bring it to me and you transport it there, then you need to factor in your transport. So have you been able to check that? Okay, and what's the number of beds in all that you're looking at that is actually for sale at the moment? Okay, 170 beds. Okay, that's quite a good number. And now you have you are starting another batch. How many? The new batch now is how many? Okay. Okay, Chiamaka, I think you are doing well. Your challenge is now access to market. That's your challenge, access to market. I think you're doing well. Yeah. So, but the bigger ones, are they close by? Are you within the same vicinity for the bigger ones? I mean the bigger beds. Are they? You have shown us the smaller beds, the new batch, the old batch. Are they within the vicinity? So would you want to point your camera there? Yes, I said. Do you want to show us that one, the bigger batch? Okay, so go ahead, show us. Okay. All right, Chamaka. So, all right, so the challenge Chamaka is having is the challenge of access to markets. So she has this poultry farm. Yeah. So while you're going to that to show us those big bets, I'll just be explaining your business to our audience. So she has this poultry farm, and the poultry farm is located in Olo, in Imo State, and because of insecurity around her location, she's having challenges selling her birds. Her birds are due for sale, but she's having challenges getting people to give her to offer her a good rate. So she's looking at getting buyers from the Owerri town that is not far from Olo, getting buyers from there. However, the buyers in Owerri are also concerned about their safety. You see how these things work. They are all connected, and that is why insecurity does not really do anybody any good. So it affects businesses both big and small. And in this instance, is affecting Chiamaka's business in Olo in Imo State. And so the question now is buyers in Olo are offering her a rate that is lower than what buyers in Owerri will be offering her. And however, buyers in Owerri are having challenges coming down to Olo to come and buy the beds from her. So as you follow this program, you want to propose a solution for Chiamaka, drop it in the chat, and we'll be able to share these solutions with Chiamaka. But in the meantime, so the question I have thrown at her for her to think about is if buyers in Owerri can't come and they say bring the beds to us in Owerri, so she needs to be able to factor in her transport costs and be able to really ascertain that what they are paying for the beds, the chicks in Owerri, even though may look higher, but if transport is factored in compared to what buyers in Olume pay, what will be the difference? What will be the margin? So these are the issues that Chiamaka needs to think about. So when she gets to her farm, I mean, when she gets to the section where she has the big beds, she'll be able to show us those big beds on camera. All right. So Chiamaka, when you get there, just let us know. I see you, Francisca AK. I see you on YouTube. Ah, greatness. Olorun Femi. Yeah, I see you. I see you. I see you. Thank you for joining the program. Greatness is one of our top facilitators too when it comes to goal getting and getting to what you are looking at, especially for those of us who are business people on this call. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to have greatness in one of our future editions. I see you, Favor, on YouTube. I see you. Yeah, Ihan Chamaka, I see you. Ikechukwu Odagwe, I see you. You are all welcome. You are welcome. So if you heard the scenario concerning Chiamaka's business, yeah, and you want to be able to chip in, we're exploring solutions. You know what we do on this program is that we're always exploring solutions, yeah. And you want to be, yeah, Uhegu Madinachi, I see you. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, and here on Zoom, I have Nkwo Collins on Zoom. I have Nkwo Collins on Zoom. Yeah, Collins, you're welcome. So, any of you, yeah, any of you on all the platforms that want to probably you want to show yourself on camera, you can request the link to the Zoom um, platform, and we'll share the link with you, and we can have you on camera. Okay, so while we wait for Chiamaka to show us those bets, we like to, yeah, greatness, yeah, I see you. Yeah, greatness is saying that she'll be delighted to serve. Yeah, of course, definitely we're going to have you in our future editions. All right, so today, last week, we had an instance where one of us on this program had a challenge with a client. So they had conversations, and the client said, okay, bring the products, let us test it, and let us be sure that the product meets our quality controls. And they sent the products, and the products were tested, and the client said, okay, supply the products. So the products were supplied. However, when the client received the products, the client now wanted to change the goalpost. Oh no, this is not the quality we talked about. Oh no, and so on and so forth. And so an issue arose, and the question was, how do you deal with such issues? Yes, I see you Friday on YouTube. Favor, I see you. Gift Solomon, I see you. You are all welcome to the program. So the question now is, how do you deal with that kind of scenario? And so one of the things that we talked about, um, on the program, was to be able to ensure that you have laid down processes, laid down procedures, laid down um, systems that enables you to be able to keep track of what you're doing. And so we talked about that. And one of the things that, yeah, we mentioned was that you need to keep an audit trail, and that's what I want to just mention this morning. So for example, I wanted to do some soil analysis for my farm. I wanted to do a soil analysis, and I have this lab in Owerri. While I am in Port Harcourt, I have this lab in Owerri that I want to use and to be able to run this analysis. And so first thing we did was they asked that I send the soil samples. I did. I sent the samples. And subsequently, now they asked, after receiving the samples, now we've been chatting on WhatsApp. And this is something I want you to be able to really I want you to get something from this story. So we've been chatting on WhatsApp, but as soon as they received the samples, the what they asked for, having seen the samples, they now did an email. Remember, we've been chatting on WhatsApp, but they now did an email, and in the email they were able to attach an invoice. Now, small business owners on this call, I want you to take something from this. Everything don't need to start and end verbally. Everything don't need to start and end on WhatsApp chat. Everything don't, there need to be documentations. So they now sent an email to us, and in the email they attached an invoice. So good a thing, creating an invoice these days is very simple. You can go online, download a template, customize it, and then you can use it. So it becomes easy for you to create an invoice. Yeah, so it becomes easy for you to create an invoice. And with that, what they have just done is that they have created an audit trail. What do I mean by that? Now, remember, we've been chatting on WhatsApp. And they may not be able to hold me or hold us with WhatsApp chats, but now they have sent an email with an invoice. And in the invoice, they were able to detail the amount they are charging. Okay, so Chiamaka, are you there now? Are you ready for us? Okay, so Chiamaka is ready for us to show us those big bets. Who knows? Who knows? There might be a client on this call that might even be able to buy off some of those bets. Who knows? Who knows? You can never sell. All right, so let's go over to Chiamaka's farm, and we'll come back to the story we were telling. Yeah, so these are the beds. Yes, we can see it now, Chiamaka. We can see your beds. We can see your beds. Mm. So talk to us. So you have nurtured these bears for how long now? For how many weeks? Okay, going to 7 weeks. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So who are your target customers for for this category of beds, who are your target customers? Okay, okay, okay. All right. So for Chiamaka, she's targeting um so market people, right? They just like wholesalers that will buy in wholesale and go and retail, right? Okay, okay. Now that you are thinking of focusing on this business in the long term, the question is: are you also considering other categories of customers? For example, fast food chains that usually buy on a regular basis. For example, are you also considering those categories of customers? Oh, yeah, because why I'm asking you that question. Remember that the initial challenge you mentioned was that you are having issues being able to get customers that are willing to come down to Olo because of insecurity to be able to buy your products. And the customers in Olo are not offering you a good price that you will be interested in. So the question now is, if you are exploring customers outside of Olo, um, are you thinking of diverse categories of customers? For example, if you're targeting wholesalers that will come and buy and resell and they are dragging their feet, yeah, are you able to probably discuss with fast food chains, for example, that will always need beds on a regular basis? It may not necessarily just be fast food chains, but I'm just saying other categories of customers, because if you have a diverse category of customers, you might stand a better chance of always having people that will buy off your bets when your bets are due. Because if the bets are due and you are still keeping them, it means that you are spending more money, more than you would naturally have wanted to, right? Okay, so probably um, we will let Jamaica go today, but we have left some posers for her to ponder on, to think about. And one of those posers is: are you able to think of other categories of customers? Are you able to compare in real terms what the the prices they are offering you, what the differences are? Okay, go ahead. Okay. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be only the ones in Oloas. It can also be even the ones in Owerri, for example. Y- Mm. Okay, okay, that's lovely. That's lovely, Chamaka. Thank you so much for sharing your progress in your poultry business with us. We'll let you go at this time. I'd like to read out some comments while you're listening, Chamaka. Amicable Favor is saying on YouTube that she thinks you should look out for other big restaurants in Olo, okay, as they might come up with a better price for her poultry products. Well, Amicable Favor, she had just mentioned that in Olo, that around her locality, she just has two um, fairly big eateries. Yeah, two fairly big eateries. However, we are also sharing with her that it doesn't have to be only those two fairly big eateries. It can also be the ones outside of Olo, the ones in Owerri. Okay, I'll take Kingsley's comment later on. Kingsley is talking about, apart from Paystack, if there are other platforms where he can sell business. Okay, so going back to what we were saying before, now I think this also applies to even Chamaka's poultry business. Going back to what we were saying before, now for people on the Zoom call, Nkwo Collins, you're on the Zoom. So if you're ready to talk with us, just let us know. Robinson Jaffor is also on Zoom. If you're ready to talk with us, you want to show us a video of what's going on in your business, just let us know, and we'll be able to put you on. Yeah. So, Chamaka, thank you so much. We'll let you go at this time. Yeah, we are happy for what is going on in your business. We have taken notes. Yes. And in this race to second tranche grant for LiveWire beneficiaries, yes, we have seen what you have done with the first tranche and we know you are making progress. Congratulations, kudos. Okay. All right. So, yeah, we were earlier talking about having systems, having processes, having ways of creating documentations, ways of creating audit trails, ways of being able to track your agreements with other businesses because it's very, very important as small business owners. Sometimes we take some of these things for granted. Sometimes you just look at what you're doing and you start and end your business conversations on telephone and on, yeah, on maybe WhatsApp, and the idea is always that people will always keep to their agreements, but unfortunately sometimes some persons don't keep to their agreements. They don't keep to their agreements, so it behoves on you, the business owner, to ensure that you are able to find a way to make people keep to their agreements. And one thing I want to say is that as a business person, even if you don't have money to pay a lawyer, please have people who are lawyers as friends. You need to have people who are lawyers as friends. Keep them close. Yeah, I have many of them around me. Sometimes I seek their advice. I may not necessarily pay all the time because they are my friends. So sometimes informally as well, I can seek for advice. And of course, in my own business, we also have a retainership with our legal advisor. So on a yearly basis, we pay for retainership fees. And when there are legal issues that come up, we're able to take care of it. But what I'm saying is that even if you don't have money for that, if you don't have money for that, ensure that you have people around you who also have a little idea of law. As a business person, you need that in your business so that when there are issues that you need legal advice, you at least you can see people you can be able to discuss with, even if it's on an informal basis, before you go into formal conversations. Yeah, so that's one. So, or rather, that would be the second one. So, being able to have systems in place, being able to have um, processes that helps you to create documentations, that helps you to create an audit trail, that helps you to be able to track what you're doing is very, very important. So you're going to a relationship with another business, another individual. You need to be able to track that relationship. You need to be able to document that relationship. You need to be able to put pen and, those days, maybe these days it will just be keyboard, but you need to put pen and paper down to be able to document whatever comes up in such business relationships. Yeah, don't take things for granted. Don't rely only on people's goodwill. I had a situation about 3, 4 years ago. So I wanted to take in partners into a business venture I was going into. However, I invited our legal advisor and explained what I wanted to do. And so somebody wanted to invest in that venture. So we sat down, discussed it, and put up an agreement. Yeah, because what the agreement will help everybody to know is if there are issues, what do we do? So you can state it in advance before the issues come up. So we were able to document it, sign the agreement, and then we started. And midway into that relationship, the other party felt that, was feeling threatened, was suspecting that he may not get what might be due him in due course. And we were surprised because we said, no, there is no need to feel threatened because nobody has defaulted at this point. But however, if you are feeling threatened, there is no problem. We can look at the agreement and then we can dissolve the relationship. And that was exactly what we did. We dissolved it. Everybody was happy. Till today, we are still friends. We are still relating. That is what an agreement can help you do. So don't go into business relationships without properly defining what those relationships would be all about. It's very, very important. Yeah, I have Jacobson on Zoom. Jacobson, you are welcome. You are welcome, Jacobson. You are welcome. All right. So, um, and so at the basics, let us say you don't have money to retain a legal advisor. Let us say you don't have the resources for maybe very elaborate systems. However, there are things you can do easily. So first thing first, you have had a discussion. Somebody has ordered for your products or have engaged you for services. So you go back, you play it back to the person. You say, please confirm this is what we discussed, and you put it down. Maybe in an email, for example, and send to the person. And the person will reply you on mail and say, yes, that was what we discussed. What you have done by so doing is that you have simply documented that conversation. You have simply placed it on record so that if there is disagreement going forward, you can say, no, but I sent you a mail capturing the discussion and you vetted it. So that becomes something to fall back on. Please don't always depend on people's goodwill, because sometimes memory can fail people and they may mix up what the discussion was, what the agreement was. Always document agreements. Very important. Whether it's a service agreement, you're rendering services, or whether you are selling products. Yeah. So you discover that sometimes you go to the market to go make purchases. And when you go to the market and you make purchases, you discover that sometimes people just sell goods, they don't give you receipts. But as a business person that is documenting what you're doing, you will ask for receipts. Say, please give me receipt for what I have bought. Because it helps you when you get back to be able to track your expenses, to be able to document what you spent the money on, and then to be able to have an audit trail so that going forward you can have a way of defending your purchases, your transactions. So you have created an audit trail, because as a small business person, with time you will definitely pay taxes, and for you to be able to pay fair taxes, you need to have good record keeping. So you keep your records, you document your agreements, and you are able to refer to them in time to come. Ask for documentations if you are the receiving party. If you are the giving party, also insist on documentations. Things must be documented. If you do so, you're on your way to creating systems for your business. So let me go back to your comments and I'll take your comments at this point. So Kingsley Peter is asking, besides Paystack, please, which other platform can I sell my business online or own an online shop? Kingsley, there are many of them. There are many of them. However, in time past, why I mentioned Paystack was that Paystack, you can do it free. You only create an account on Paystack and you're able to create an online shop free without paying anything. Remember that as a small business person, you want to be able to conserve resources. You want to be able to minimize expenses. You want to be able to um, um, use very little to create profit. Yeah. So if you can spend less and create more profit, why not? That is what business is all about, as long as you are still maintaining your quality. And so one of the ways of doing that is looking for platforms where you can do some of these things free. There are some other platforms where you can pay. I- there are so, like, even platforms like Shopify, for example, they are there online, but on Paystack it is free. So why wouldn't you want to use the free one? I'm talking to Kingsley Pizza now. But if you Google it on online, Kingsley, I'm sure you're going to see many more options. Yeah, many more options. Now, um, Goswill Jacobson. Yeah, Goswill Jacobson. I have seen you on the Zoom call. You're welcome, Goswill Jacobson. Now, um, on Goswill, you also have a comment here. You were also trying to advise Chiamaka that she also needs to target the roadside chicken roasters. And that is very interesting too, because those people can also be part of her customer base. Yeah. And Chiamaka Ihani is also saying that there are the cold rooms that sell chicken and chicken parts. They market chicken sellers, the roadside chicken roasters, aside restaurants. She can consider this set of people in Olo. Yeah, yeah. So I'm sure that she's listening, and I'm sure that she's taking notes. And I'm sure that, however, I think that part of her challenge is because Olo has been suffering from um, insecurity. So a lot of businesses seems to have fled Olo, but nevertheless, I'm sure she can be able to utilize some of this advice to progress her business forward. So Mma Dinachi is saying that she's been trying to download Zoom on her phone, but it's not working. That she wanted to show us how far she has gone with her business. So, Madinachi, wow. I don't know. Maybe you may need to you may need to ask people around you to help you. Yeah, so that you can. Downloading Zoom is quite easy. You just go to Play Store, Google Play Store, if you're using Android phone, and you download it on your phone. It's quite easy, really. So, but if you're having issues and challenges, you may need to just ask people around you to help you, so that um, they can be able to guide you where necessary. So she's saying that she bought some fabrics for sale, some mannequins to showcase the clothes she has made, and that she also bought hand machine for designing clothes and other sewing material. That's beautiful. Congratulations. And yeah, in time to come, we may visit some of you who are telling us what you're doing, to be able to see for ourselves, and of course to be able to also better advise you and direct you. So she's saying that right now that she's making clothes for a customer. Congratulations, Madinachi. Yeah, I'm sure that your customers are going to really, really be happy with the products you're delivering. Okay, so we are making progress. Wherever you are, we are still on our live Q&A, weekly live Q&A. Yeah, where we look at, for live web beneficiaries, we look at the progress you have made in your business, and of course for the general public, we also try to discuss business issues, and we try to provide solutions to business challenges. So you can always keep a date with us every Tuesday, 10 o'clock. We try to do this. Now, if you are on any of the other platforms, on Facebook, on Twitter, yeah, on Instagram, you can drop your comments on any of our platforms there. Neokecci is the platform where you can use to drop your comments. Yeah, Neokecci is the handle on all of those platforms. Okay, so I don't seem to see any more comments that I'm missing. I don't seem to see any more here. So I think I've taken all of your comments. Then on Facebook, Tega is saying, keep up the good work. Thank you, Tega. Thank you. Yeah, you are the reason why we are doing what we're doing. So thanks a lot, Tega. All right. Now, back to what we were saying, talking about creating audit trail, talking about documenting your process, talking about being able to show evidence of how you have arrived at an agreement, because sometimes people may forget and they may begin to dispute agreements you had with them. So at that point, what do? You simply refer back to all the documentations. But if you did not keep any documentations, then how can you be able to prove it? That is why you need to have those documentations. All right. Those of you on Zoom, if you like to share with us on video what you have been doing so far, just indicate, and then we can bring you on. I can see Goswill Jacobson, yeah, the young tycoon who is um, pushing his agricultural business and also his electrical and phone accessories business. Yeah, he's putting his hand in several pies. That's really interesting. That's fine. Yeah, you're welcome, Jacobson. Yeah. Okay, so you do you want to share anything with us, Jacobson? Okay, no problem. Jacobson, thank you very much for um, being on the call today. Okay, Jacobson, you want to share what you're doing with us? Okay, no problem. All right, then when you have been able to put your relationship, your conversations, your agreements, and you have documented them, you have put them down and you have documented them, always ensure that you keep your own part of the agreements. I seriously want you to, because sometimes the problem may be from you. Maybe you have not kept your own part of the agreement. Probably maybe you didn't meet up anymore with what you have said you are going to do. And that is where challenges may come sometimes. So you as a business person, whatever you have committed yourself to, please ensure that you do it. Whatever you have told your client you will do, please go above and beyond expectation to deliver. I tell you that part of the secrets of where I have come so far in business, beyond, of course, God is the one that grants grace. Then, on my own part as a business person, I always try to go above and beyond expectation. And I think it's very, very important. So, if you have agreed to do something, as a service or a particular product, please ensure you keep to the agreement. If possible, go above and beyond and wow your customer, because sometimes you deliver so much value that your customer is like, wow, I'm going to come back again. So please ensure that you are not the one that is bridging the agreement. Please ensure you're not the one bridging the agreement, because um, documenting agreements, documenting processes works both ways. If you document it and you bridge it, that means the other party can pull it out and say, but this was the agreement, this is what we discussed, this is what we agreed. So ensure that you are not the one bridging the agreement. All right. So we needed to chip in that. And yeah, Van Man, I can see you. You're welcome, Van Man. I can see you. You're welcome. All right. So as we try to wrap up, because we always try to keep this short and straight to the point, it's always better to discuss a little and everybody goes back to business than to keep everybody on the call for a protracted period of time. So for today, what we are hammering on is ensure you keep track of your agreements with other people. Ensure you keep to your own part of it. Ensure you document it. Ensure that people know what has been documented. Everybody has a copy. And these days it's so easy. It's so easy. Recently, I had an experience. Yeah, we did a job. We've been expecting payments, and there's been so much up and down. So very easy. Simply do an email and itemize all that has been all that has been part of that process. When the agreement was made, what was discussed, the milestones, and you break it down. And by the time you do somebody such an email and send a reminder, the person knows what is coming. Because what is coming is that you can go all the way. There's actually nothing wrong in seeking legal redress. Sometimes some business persons think that seeking legal redress means that you are not a good person. No. If there's a disagreement, you can go for legal interpretation. Say, please, we had a disagreement and you're not keeping to it. Why don't we go to court and find out? But it doesn't have to get to that point. What we're saying is that you can, on your own, as a business person, ensure that you do the right thing to be able to ensure that business flows very well. So, greatness is also saying on YouTube, Greatness is saying that all my clients usually pay me more eventually. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for um, also bringing your experience to support what I had said earlier. And she said that they also refer her to new clients. She said a client took her to lunch last Tuesday because she got so much value. So when you wow your client, when you impress your client, when you go above and beyond to deliver, the client will be so happy that the client will not mind even paying more. These things happen all the time. It happens all the time. Be the person that will give value, deliver more value, that people will always want to do business with you. You be that person. Be that kind of business person. And I'm sure you will never lack clients. Yeah? You never lack clients. The kind of business I do, consulting business, apart from my farm, consulting business is such that it's very competitive. Yeah? When I started, there were people who were older in the business, who were more qualified in the business, who were just use every yardstick. They were better than us, but we were able to do something different, and that is we were able to push and push and deliver beyond expectation. I mean, we tried to do more than was expected, and the clients were always happy, and the clients wanted to do business with us. Yeah, because when we had a job to do, we deliver more than is expected, and the clients liked it, and that is why we are where we are today. And I really wish you all the success in your business. I wish you that you will also try your best, not just to be the one trying to, um, be the one that people can always look up to and say, that business person, do business with him, do business with her. You can be sure you can go to sleep soundly because you will always do what is agreed. So document your agreements, document your systems, have a way of tracking what is going on. Create an audit trail. Make sure things are documented. Emails are great for documentation because in emails you can even recall email of 2010, for example. So emails are very simple, easy, free way of documenting a lot of things. So you have had a discussion with somebody on phone and you're about to start an engagement, you can do an email as a follow-up and say, please check your mail and see if that captures our conversation. So it becomes a way to create an audit trail, a way to document the agreement, a way to ensure that things are really taken note of. So thank you so much for being part of this program today. In the absence of further questions, in the absence of further, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I can see greatness. Thank you so much. So in the absence of further questions from you and further suggestions, so I wish you all the best. If you like to share your progress, especially for Share Livewire beneficiaries who are preparing for their second tranche grants. You want to show all working, like they always say. Please feel free. Join us with your video next Tuesday. Join the Zoom call. Show us what you're doing, and we'll be able to capture it. These videos are also part of documentation, because we can always refer to them, so that when we come for physical inspection, for example, we can look at what we have seen in those videos and look at what you are showing us, and of course it becomes a way of showing the progress. So I wish you all the best. My name is Charles Wahiwe. I'm your business coach. Let's do this again, same time next week, 10 o'clock, every Tuesday, every week, and then we'll be able to get it rolling. And we try to do it for 1 hour, just 10 to 11, so that we'll keep it short and simple. So God bless you. Go out there and do your business. If you couldn't share with us today, maybe because of time or you joined late, next week is another time and we'll be able to get it right. So bye for now. Go back to your business. Go make the money. God bless you.